we got here is your mom contacted something called Quilt of Valor, and they do quilts for our service members. They're trying to do all service members, from what I hear.
Okay.
And there was no chapter back home in Delaware or here in California, but she got a hold of her sister in Kansas, and they went to work for you. So here's a letter. This letter's from your sister. So from, is that your aunt? Aunt Chris there?
Yeah.
All right, hi Chris. Just wanted to give you some information regarding your Quilt of Valor. It was originally requested by your mom, my sister Kay, through the Quilt of Valor Kansas City area chapter and the Blue Valley Quilters Guild, which she is a member of, and her mom found out, or your mom found out from the Quilt of Valor. Is that right?
Yeah, my sister is a member of the Quilts of Valor in Kansas City, and I contacted her, and they went to work for you.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
All right, I requested the quilt top from one of the Quilt of Valor organizers in her guild, Mindy Peterson, and she gave me 3 from which to choose. So your quilt top was chosen by your aunts. Unfortunately, I do not know who pieced the top. I don't know, that must be a quilting thing. All right. There are so many people who volunteered for Quilt of Valor that it's hard to track the top from the beginning to the finish. I chose the top over the others because of the colors in it. Very patriotic, and I like the block design. There's a lot of movement in this quilt, and I think it reflects your dedication, time of service, and with the U.S. Navy best. So from what I saw in it, I understand where she was going with that. I'm a beginner, what is that, long arm quilter? Alright, and I've quilted several Quilt of Valor quilts over the last year. I finally gained enough confidence to quilt a quilt for someone I know, and so I wanted to quilt your Quilt of Valor. I use a pattern called split paint. And
Spilt paint.
Spilt paint. Spilt paint. I'm going to have to learn some quilting terms, because my mother-in-law's going to be very upset with me. And this is the first quilt that I did not use bobbin thread that matched the backing, so the quilting would show. Not look too closely. Even if I'm correct about this, the quilt, it's not so much the piece of material, but it's actually the spirals that go through it that makes it a quilt, correct? That's the quilting. My mother-in-law actually has people quilt for her after she does the patterns.
I do too, because I don't have a long arm quilter.
It's probably expensive.
It is.
All right, a very good friend of mine, Lace Lighthizer. Did I say that right?
Grace Lighthizer.
Oh, Grace Lighthizer. All right. Added the binding, and a fellow guild member, Mary Langenberg, embroidered the label. This was truly a team effort by all, and it means a lot to me knowing that these 2 women were immediately willing to help me complete your quilt. And you'll understand what that means, but there is, on the bottom of a quilt, there's a dedication towards you. I hope you can feel the gratitude from each of my guild's 120 members from your service to our country. When I showed your quilt at the last meeting, there was a rousing round of applause, and that was absolutely not for the quilt, but it was for you. I hope you get as much love out of this quilt as was put into it, and whenever you need a hug, grab this and wrap it around you. It will be like having 120 moms hugging you.
Oh.
Congratulations on your 20-year milestone serving in the United States Navy. We are so very proud of you and so very grateful. Much love, Aunt Chris. Very sweet.
Aww.